2026. Clerk Borling, please call the roll.
Commissioner Hess.
Present.
Commissioner Hoffman.
Present.
Commissioner Pradle. Commissioner Slaby.
Present.
Commissioner Wilson.
Present.
Vice Mayor Duncan.
Here.
Mayor Anderson.
Here. Thank you, Clerk Borling. May I please have a motion to excuse Commissioner Pradle?
So moved.
Motion made by Commissioner Hess, supported by Vice Mayor Duncan. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion passes. Next, Communications, Manager Hankins.
None at this time.
Thank you so much. Now is the opportunity for public comments for the Committee of the Whole meeting. So just a reminder for the Committee of the Whole, public comment time is 2 minutes. There will also be a time for public comments at our regular business meeting at 7, which is 4 minutes. Is there anyone in the chambers that would like to take advantage of the public comment period for the Committee of the Whole? Please come forward.
Edward Nickerson. I live in the city of Kalamazoo. I went to the Design It program down on the north side. After I left there, I went down to the old school and I parked my vehicle and got out of my car, and a guy jumped in front of me with his hands out, stopping me from going anywhere. He was just staring at me like a crazy guy, and I was thinking about what I was gonna do. He finally said if I didn't pay for my parking, I was gonna get in trouble. I figured he was parking enforcement, so I glanced at his jacket and it said something about parking. I looked at him and I said, you know, parking enforcement's made it impossible for me to figure out how to pay for parking due to my disability, and you're not getting a cent for me. Until they change how they do things for people with disabilities, they're not gonna get nothing. And I don't appreciate them doing that to anybody, whether it's me or anybody else. And if you wanna know why these businesses don't get business, look at the parking people. That's about all I have to say about that.
Thank you. Is there anyone else in the chambers who'd like to take advantage of this public comment period? Seeing no one else at this time, we do have a focus for this evening, the Economic Development Division Strategy Update. Manager Hankins.
Thank you, Mayor. Yes, this is a regular update that the Economic Development team is hoping to share with you. I have Bobby Boyd here, our Economic Development Supervisor, and a number of staff and external speakers who may be able to present as well. But invite Bobby.
Welcome, Mr. Boyd. Good to see you.
You as well, you as well. So thank you all. It's been a long time coming. I'm excited to share this information with you all, with all the great things that we're doing over here in the Economic Development Division, here in CPED in Kalamazoo. So I want to start right here. This is an update on back in late 2024, we brought to the Commission and the Economic Development Corporation Board Economic Development Strategy. And here we're going to give you an update on how we've been kind of following that strategy and the things that we've been doing and the deliverables that we've been able to obtain in fiscal year 2025. Before I start, I would be remiss. I want to share that in Economic Development Division, yes, I'm here talking about how we've achieved the things we've achieved in the strategy, but I want to be able to do this without my team and my partners. So the first picture here I want to share as well as the other team members that I have at Economic Development Division. We have Megan Bayheimer, Aaron Hahn, Jared Chambers, and Kevin Ford as well that helped me achieve these goals for 2025. So on economic development strategy, you may all be familiar, but what we really landed on with our vendor was 4 strategic pillars. Those pillars were fostering the business environment, strengthening the neighborhoods and community connections, improving the downtown experience, and advancing conditions for growth. Just a snapshot on some of the things we've been able to achieve in 2025. As you can see, this is one of the ribbon cuttings that we did in 2025. We've done a number of those. We've really updated and achieved up to over 300% in our ribbon cuttings that we've been able to do in the city of Kalamazoo, so we're really proud of that effort. We also help advance investments within the city of Kalamazoo as well, up to $278 million through the Economic Development Division. Capital and grants, over $500,000 to our communities. We had a downtown brand approved, that some of you may have seen recently as well. We've implemented Salesforce and utilized some partnerships with Placer AI, which I'll talk more about in future slides as well. We had an approval of a PR and business attraction campaign that I'm excited to share with you all as well. And with workforce and program funding as a whole in the city of Kalamazoo, we have a little bit over $200,000 obtained in that aspect as well. Pillar 1 is really where Pillar 1 was fostering the business environment. We really worked on reducing barriers, supporting business operations, and enabling investment in that pillar. We kind of streamlined our permits and local approvals. So our marijuana renewals, we kind of streamlined that process to make it a little more easier for a lot of our marijuana and cannabis companies in the city. Our liquor licenses, and also in expanding that social district that we're working on in the city of Kalamazoo as well. It's kind of streamlining that. We also launched our business PR and attraction campaign that I will show you in another slide. We expanded our business and retention and engagement aspects, and engagement of that aspect. Ribbon cuttings expanded. We had about $182,000 in the business BCO program, $20,000 from an ICMA grant that we got from MEDC Match on Main. You may be familiar with an organization called Machacita, now known as Macharia, that we got $20,000 for that business as well. We also picked up our sponsorships for Entrepreneurship Summit with the Startup Zoo with the Carl Brown as well, helped support that for our entrepreneurs in the area. We also sponsored in collaboration with the Chamber, our Southwest Michigan First, the first ever Chamber Awards, where we sponsored and presented the BIPOC Business of the Year, or Black Indigenous People of Color Business of the Year. You may be familiar with our local Kalamazoo business here, Dabney, Daniel May, the owner of that company, so we presented that award to him here in the city of Kalamazoo, so we're excited about that. Also through the Economic Development Corporation Board, we gave away 4 EIF, or Economic Innovative Funds, to help our organizations get through the finish line. It's a little bit of some gap financing, help them get through that process to really start up their businesses here in Kalamazoo, and we're excited to be a resource for that opportunity. We also given out and worked with United Way to give out about 100 KMEG grants, which are Kalamazoo Microenterprise grants that have been around since 2020 as well, and we continue to move on with that program. So Pillar 2 was really what's strengthening neighborhoods and community connections. So how we achieved that was really picked up and ramped up our inclusive engagement in that facet. We work with the Social Equity Cannabis Chamber as well, which we have some slides that we'll talk a little bit more about that as well. Our neighborhood corridor outreach, improved on that, moved forward in some of that engagement for our neighborhoods. We also built up a neighborhood business directory that we built out, so we can really kind of streamline some of our communications now. So we have some upcoming projects that will become some hurdles for the city, road construction, so we want to make sure that we have right email addresses and contact information, so when we need to get out communications to some of these businesses in the area, we can do that in a proactive fashion and not be running around trying to get in touch with these organizations. So we built that directory to try to become more proactive in that capacity. Also became more community-facing as well. We do monthly NAACP presentations just on regards of what strategy and things that we have coming up in the city as well. We also work in collaboration with Southwest Michigan First and the Chamber with the Black and Brown Connect Mixer, which we do a quarterly meeting where we also share updates on regards to the strategy as well to really improve upon that inclusive engagement, make sure we're including everyone when we have some of these updates and some of the great work that we're doing at the city. We want to make sure everyone knows and feels included in those processes. We also started up a Shop Local Greater Kalamazoo in collaboration with the Chamber. This is a e-commerce site that we worked with Chamber to really be able to help businesses that, especially small businesses that don't have the resources to start their own e-commerce site. We actually fit the bill for that with the Chamber so businesses can get that e-commerce site up and going and start selling their products online whenever they have other challenges that maybe prohibit individuals from getting to their stores in that capacity. Right now, this is the website, the Shop Local Greater Kalamazoo. And we did a soft launch in 2025, and we'll be doing a hard launch throughout the whole year of 2026 to try to get as much Kalamazoo businesses on that site to really help them with merchandising, getting pictures taken, getting on that site and promoting it within other businesses to really make sure that they can sell their products 24/7 and without any issues or any excuses why individuals aren't supporting those businesses. As you see, this is some of the data points on why we thought this was influential and really needed in our communities. As we all know, a lot of the online shopping that we have nowadays is really ramped up since COVID. So it only makes sense for us to help these businesses, especially in the city of Kalamazoo, get that online presence, that we can make sure that they're ready and for that, and let's not make financial burdens or challenges that we have in this system be a reason why they can't be successful here in the city of Kalamazoo. We want to support all our businesses. So this is just one tool that we've helped utilize, and we're going to continue to promote to make sure our businesses have no obstacles in their way to really become successful in the city of Kalamazoo and build up the economic growth that we are looking for our businesses here. Some data points and some other challenges and reasons why we decided to do this for our ecosystem. So, like I said, it's a comprehensive online platform dedicated to small and locally owned businesses here in the city of Kalamazoo. This is not just centered just to Kalamazoo, it will be whole Kalamazoo County as a whole. So therefore, there'll be some cross promotion that I thought was very instrumental. It also supports home-based businesses as well. So if you're trying to build up that rapport and build up that financial magnitude to be able to have a brick and mortar, this gives you the opportunity to sell those products and get to that place and hopefully put this brick and mortar space here in the city of Kalamazoo that we're hoping for as well. This also, it's all-in-one solution, so it also offers a streamlined merchant processing. We have some advertising, social media marketing that we're working with this vendor for, and also with the Chamber in South Michigan First. And we have customer support. We can filter. We have some stream filters that I really like as well. So we have where we can do product type by business. We can have it by ownership. So you can center it to just Kalamazoo. And we also have a focus filter that focuses on businesses in active construction zones, which I thought was very imperative and something that we could really utilize and can be a benefit for us here in the city of Kalamazoo. So really utilizing that filter to really help out our businesses are challenged at the moment. So I say it's enjoy convenience and shop locally. So as you've seen earlier in the slides, the website as well. Please check it out and share with as many people as possible to make sure that we can get our businesses and our home-based businesses on that site and be able to continue to really utilize this resource that here we have been put together here at the Economic Development Division. Back to the Pillar 3, so where we're really improving the downtown experience. So one thing that we've done was, like I said, the downtown brand launch that you all may have seen on the new trucks. You can see on our Big Belly trash cans around the city, and especially down the downtown area, which our new brand, which we really like. We've done a lot of work on that, so we're really excited to see that and continue to move forward that work and that activation as a whole. We're also working on and showing, that's why we have so many of those branding and logos on our Big Belly trash cans to really show the opportunity for sponsorship things so we can kind of offset those costs on the Big Belly program and really utilize sponsorships to help promote our businesses and help promote City of Kalamazoo as well. Another thing we did for downtown was increase our statewide visibility. We did obtain the Michigan Downtown Association Conference here at the Radisson this year, so we're really excited to bring downtowns all across the state here to just look at our downtown, see the things that we've done, but also hear about some of the things they have done in their downtown to really activate it and bring economic growth in their cities. So we're really looking forward to that conference and having that visibility to really learn and showcase how great Kalamazoo is, especially in the downtown area. And lastly, we also stabilized our Downtown Ambassador Program. We stabilized a 3-year contract with them. They've been doing amazing work that we've seen, especially with the snow that we've had this year, with some kind of digging out the crosswalks and a lot of the ice that we're in, the sidewalk challenges that we've had, by really using that Ambassador Program, getting them activated, working on that to really make sure that we have a very walkable downtown, by having individuals that are on our team that can do that work to make sure that we are definitely making downtowns all it can be. Lastly, we really want to advance conditions for growth. It's the last pillar that we have here. As you see in the background, another ribbon cutting that we've done a lot of those. We're really, really proud of those. Really want to support and highlight our businesses in Kalamazoo. So we have a few commissioners there as well. So we want to thank you all. The mayor's always there. Chris Prado, Commissioner Prado, Slaby, Duncan, you all have been there. Pretty much all you commissioners. So we want to thank you all for continuing to show support and be part of those. And we will continue to ramp that up on a regular basis. And I hope you can continue to support and be there to really showcase businesses. We know how hard it and how much of a challenge it is to start up a business, let alone a brick and mortar business. So being able to celebrate them and show our support, I think is instrumental, and we really want to continue to do that. So we will definitely ramp that up for 2026. So you all can stay tuned and hopefully be a part of that as well. But back to our pillars for growth, advancing conditions for growth. So a major project facilitation that we did move forward. Let's facilitate a $103 million bond through the Economic Development Corporation Board for a senior complex, Friendship Village that you know on the west side of the city that we have. They're doing an expansion and some redevelopment in that capacity. So I'm really excited that they were able to come to us and obtain a bond through our Economic Development Corporation Board to move forward that work. We also have a liaison, Kevin Ford, who's a liaison for the NCBDA, which we all know our transformational brownfield project had one project on the Porter Street project was in the NCBDA area. So being able to really utilize our liaison to try to help with those negotiations and talk through that whole process to really get us past the finish line so we can see that moving forward through the TVP, I thought was something that was instrumental. I mean, the whole city worked together to try to move that forward, but Kevin Ford will definitely be a part of that, so we definitely want to highlight and be excited that we all work together to move that project forward. And now we have a transformational brownfield project that we can celebrate and be excited that's going to be in fruition in the next coming years here in the city. System and tools, like we have Salesforce reconfiguration. We've always utilized Salesforce, but we always need a way to really streamline that process and make sure it's a tool that we use correctly and that can be more of an asset. So I definitely, since being on board, helped with kind of reconfiguration in that aspect with business retention and expansion to make sure all our businesses are in there. It lets us know if we haven't talked to them in months, or we haven't talked to them in an email, or we haven't had a phone call, or just to check in on our businesses to see how they're feeling, what they're doing. We really want to know if they're struggling, or if they have any challenges, how we can help facilitate or help in those challenges before we find out on the news or in the paper or whatever that they're closing. So this is just one tool that we can utilize to really be able to keep us in the know, to knowing we haven't had interaction with this business. I mean, there's hundreds of businesses and 5 of us on a team, so this is a tool that we can really utilize to stay in the know to help businesses proactively, not reactively, when they're closing their doors or have any type of other challenges as well. We also, I really believe in partnerships, so we also work with Discover Kalamazoo. They have a Placer AI tool that really uses cell phone data to let individuals know, especially with tourism and foot traffic and those natures. So we've really worked with them to utilize some of that technology and interns in their organization to really utilize some of that technology to know what the foot traffic and the resident data to show us maybe some very areas that are needed for investment, what that looks like, investment prioritization, event planning, things of that nature, what our events do, how successful they are, and why we should continue to do those type of events in the future here in the city of Kalamazoo. So it's been a really good tool that we've worked in partnership with Discovery Kalamazoo to continue to work with as a whole. So now we will jump into the PR and business attraction campaign that I'm really excited about as well. The EDC has approved. They will be really moving forward this work. So this PR and business attraction campaign for the city of Kalamazoo came about because we know we have a lot of organizations in the city that focus on economic development regionally, but I just thought it makes perfect sense first to promote Kalamazoo, and who's better to promote the city of Kalamazoo than the city of Kalamazoo? So we have this campaign right here. We're really going to work on unifying the city branding. As you see, the downtown has a brand, so we're working in unison with Western Michigan University students to work on branding around all ends of the city, so north end, south end, east end, and the west end, to really put together some unified branding, to really talk about the uniqueness of all our ends of towns have, the culture of it, and to really talk about why it's so great to be here in the city of Kalamazoo. Another one of the strategic objectives we have is really to attract new investment. We want to attract new investment not just statewide, but also nationally and also internationally as well. We know that Kalamazoo is a great place to be, but does everyone else know that? So when people are having these conversations on expansion, entrepreneurs, or even growth, we want to make sure Kalamazoo is in that conversation. Why is not Kalamazoo in that conversation? We're very unique. We have a lot of great things going on in Kalamazoo. Let's make sure we're in that conversation. We're going to showcase real stories. Who's better to talk about how great Kalamazoo is and the people that have businesses here, the leaders that are here, and the people in Kalamazoo. So we will showcase a lot of those real stories. We're going to highlight a lot of these key projects. We have a lot of great momentum right now in development-wise. So with the event center, with the youth sports center, as well, we got some airport corridor aspects, things going on as well. So why not showcase those and help attract new investments as well? Lastly, we really want to drive that engagement. Like I said, we want to make sure Kalamazoo is in that conversation when we're talking about growth and relocation of some of these businesses nationally, even internationally as well. Some of the key pillars that I thought about that we can really focus on to show how great we are is showing how we're perfectly placed for growth. We're conveniently located between two metropolises, so Detroit and Chicago. No other place can really say that. We also have to the north Grand Rapids, so logistics-wise, it's a perfect location for a lot of businesses to want to be dab center in the middle with a major highway that can take you to those places and move your products around in that aspect. We also want to talk about our innovation and industry that lives here. So we have Pfizer, we have Stryker, we have 3 colleges in our town as well we want to focus on. But we also want to talk about the workforce pipelines that we're going to continue to work on and continue to support so we can bring economic growth and good paying jobs here for our residents here in the city of Kalamazoo. We want to talk about the culture and creativity and the connectivity that we have in the city of Kalamazoo. As I said, all our neighborhoods are unique. They all have a cultural perspective, and we want to be able to showcase that so when businesses are thinking about relocating here in Kalamazoo, they already have a perspective when they see it online, like, well, this may be my target market. Why I should definitely bring my business here because this is definitely going to align with what my business wants to do, and I can see my business being successful in this specific neighborhood or this corridor here in the city of Kalamazoo. We want to piggyback on the momentum of these major investments because we already know when something big and new comes around, it increases foot traffic. So let's make sure that we have an infrastructure in place. So when that foot traffic comes in, when these investments come online, we're ready for it. We're ready when the individuals come and they don't know about Kalamazoo or be in Kalamazoo for the first time. They're like, oh, this is a unique place. This is a great place. I want to continue to come back there. I love the experience. I love what I saw. I love the businesses we have there. So when that foot traffic comes, we need to make sure we're ready. We need to make sure our businesses and our entrepreneurs and our residents are ready for that increased foot traffic and take advantage of that opportunity that's going to come. Almost a once-in-a-lifetime investment, especially here in downtown area as well. And we're also a community powered for growth. We're really unique where we have a very unique philanthropic model. We have a lot of nonprofits. We have a lot of philanthropic dollars of individuals that give back to the community. And a lot of communities don't have that. We have the Kalamazoo Promise, which is a great, great asset. So why not continue to talk about how great that is and share with the world and why Kalamazoo is a great place for you to be. As I said, we have a This is Kalamazoo video series we will be starting where we'll showcase each end of town. We'll talk to a community leader. We'll talk to a local entrepreneur or a business in that area on why they're there, if the city has helped them out with any economic development funds or monies or incentives, what those were, and why they're located in that business, and what the culture kind of looks like in that region, so individuals can know what it will be like to have their business in that specific area of town here in the city of Kalamazoo. But also we can highlight our entrepreneurs and our businesses in the city of Kalamazoo. And that's also an opportunity for them to really free marketing in that aspect as well. Like I said, we're working with Western Michigan University, so they're going to help us with some of our social media. I'm not as young as I used to be, so I know I'm not hip on all the social media advertising techniques, so that's why I thought we would really utilize some of these young ones that we have at Western Michigan University and the opportunity that we have 3 colleges here to really help us with that type of marketing and social media marketing to showcase how cool our town is. But we're also going to do some of the older techniques as talk to site selectors and other individuals of that nature as well to help promote and talk about how great the city of Kalamazoo is. One other thing I really want to talk about is how we will utilize, we're talking about economic growth for the city of Kalamazoo, but we will utilize all local vendors for this project and this campaign. So we really want to create a circular economy. We want to bring economic growth within the city of Kalamazoo. So if we want to do that, we need to put our money where our mouth is. So we're really going to really utilize local vendors to move forward this project as well. We're working with Western Michigan University with the marketing thing. We're working with K-Zoom, which is a videography group to do this video series as well. We're working with Atomic Honey, which is an organization, marketing and branding analytics organization owned by Steve Jabbar, who went to Hackett, graduate of Hackett Catholic School as well. So we're really going to continue to utilize and leverage our local vendors to move forward this project and continue to make sure we celebrate how great Kalamazoo is. Here, this is talking about the Kalamazoo Microenterprise grant. So this is a grant that we started up, that the United Way pushed forwards for us, that we help fund with the help of FFE to start it up as originally as a helpful tool for COVID aspect, and it's definitely grown since then, and we'll continue to move forward this work as well, where we give away $5,000 grants to microenterprise businesses located within the city of Kalamazoo. 1 year was for the county, because the county put up a little bit of money as well to help expand that program, but for the other years, we've all been just for the city of Kalamazoo as well. In those 4 years, we give away 501 awards, about $2.5 million in funding. 66% of those grants went to people of color. 57% of those grants went to women, and 57% of those grants went to shared prosperity neighborhoods here in the city of Kalamazoo. Here's a few just data sets and some in regards to who we give those grants to by race and ethnicity, also by genders for the 4 years or 5 years that we've been doing this grant, and we'll continue to do this grant as well. So we will have updates for 2025, 2026 in the future, but this is how well we've been and how the breakdown really is and who've received these grants as well. The next slides will also illustrate some other specific filters that really celebrates that. We have the approved grants by neighborhood as well. As you see, the east side, Edison, and the north side, especially the north side's really picked up a lot in 2024 in recipients of that grant. So we're really excited that we can support businesses of that magnitude. $5,000 isn't life-changing for a business, but it's excited to be able to help individuals with starting a business, because we know how challenging it can be to keep a business and first off, start up a business anywhere in the country. You say, one thing I'd really want to point out here is you can see 53% of those grants went to service-based businesses, which I think is great. The service industry is really influential here in the city of Kalamazoo, so seeing that how it has helped so many different industries here in the city of Kalamazoo. This also kind of breaks down on how many years of business this has been in. So one parameter I know with this grant we do have is that a business has to be in, at least be an LLC for at least 1 year to obtain this grant as well. And as you see the breakdown right here, that's pretty much where the largest amount of our grants go to is businesses within 3 years or fewer as well, which we know is a very complex time for a business to really find their footing and continue to grow is within those first 3 to 5 years. So we're happy to be able to help those businesses get access to funds, whatever it may be for, to make sure their business is still around 3 years and beyond as well. If there's any additional questions before I go too far, later on at the end of this presentation, we also have some United Way staff here to be able to help answer some additional questions if you all have some. So. Right here, we really want to show some of the impacts that these grants were able to provide to a lot of our businesses, because I think that's the most important part, is that we want to be able to help businesses, but we want to make sure it creates an impact and really be able to maybe hopefully get them over the hump to be able to be around long-term here in the city of Kalamazoo. Some of the long-term impacts I really want to emphasize here would be the business growth. We've heard from our businesses. We also heard that sustained local economic and community investment, but also that it enhanced business confidence and some of the strategic clarity, which a lot of businesses, I think that is very influential and impactful to be able to do that and have a resource that can help those businesses in that capacity. So before we go too far, I do have one other vendor here. We also, as you all know, support a Social Equity Cannabis Chamber that we brought to the commission a few years ago, 2 years ago, to move forward that to align with some of the states. So I have our vendor here, which is Rebecca Collette, who runs our Social Equity Cannabis Chamber from the Economic Development Division, just to go over some of the things that they've been able to accomplish, which I'm excited to share with you all in regards to what they've done in 2025.
Thanks, Bobby. I have a speech, so you may want to take a load off.
Welcome. Thank you.
Hello, Commissioners. Good afternoon. Is it afternoon or evening? I don't know. I have a speech prepared for you guys, which gives a little bit more context than these slides do, especially for my new commissioners that I haven't had the pleasure of meeting yet. Good afternoon, Commissioners. For those who I have not had the pleasure of meeting yet, my name is Rebecca Collette, and I lead our Cannabis Social Equity Chamber. I'd like to begin with why this work exists. When the city first adopted its cannabis social equity policy back in 2022, the goal was to promote participation in the cannabis industry by individuals and neighborhoods disproportionately impacted by prohibition and enforcement, while ensuring legalization created a positive impact in Kalamazoo. The policy focused on reducing barriers to entry, providing workforce training and education, and reinvesting resources into community priorities aligned with the SBK shared priorities. And those priorities are clear: strong youth, strong families, and good jobs. The Chamber was created to operationalize that policy, because a policy just by itself is just a policy. The Chamber is the implementation partner. So what we have done over the last 2 years, I am excited to share with you guys. But for those who are not that familiar with the cannabis industry and the stark history, I would like to give you guys a little bit of facts. We know nationally and locally that there has been a stark imbalance between those who have been impacted by enforcement and those who have been able to participate economically in the legal industry. A recent report by Business Insider stated that BIPOC individuals are 85% more likely to be arrested for cannabis possession, while less than 2% of cannabis operators in America look like me. And less than 20% hold cannabis leadership positions. This work exists to close that gap, not just through licensing, but through workforce access, education, and economic mobility. So let's get into the hard nuts and bolts of what we have achieved. Over the last 2 years, we started in 2024, we've hosted over 60 workforce education and industry events, virtual and in person. We've engaged over 2,000 participants across those programs. We've built repeat participation and sustained engagement year over year. And through our partnership with Kalamazoo Valley Community College, we've enrolled over 70 residents in their cannabis certificate programs. 61 certificates have been completed thus far, and nearly half of those graduates live in the SBK neighborhoods. So our participant demographics show we are reaching the intended populations: 70% women, 60% BIPOC, 65% from the SBK neighborhoods. This is strong youth entering career pipelines. This is strong families gaining sustainability, and this is creation of good jobs. Cannabis as a living wage career pathway. It's important to understand what these jobs actually represent, guys. Many entry-level jobs in our local community, particularly in hospitality and food service, typically start between $11 and $15 per hour, including tips, but they often associate with limited benefits and unpredictable advancement. In the legal cannabis industry, our entry roles start between $17 and $22 per hour, including positions such as retail associates, cultivation technicians, and more. These positions have upward mobility and offer real career ladders rather than just temporary employment. So when we talk about cannabis workforce development, we're not just talking about short-term jobs. We're talking about regulated, skilled professions with advancement potential and family-supporting wages. This is economic mobility this policy envision. Community beyond employment, because we impact the community more than just helping people get jobs and build businesses. The city's policy also directed resources toward community reinvestment. The Chamber, over the last 2 years, has supported re-entry workforce initiatives, food security partnerships with partnerships through our local food banks, and direct collaborations with nonprofits and local neighborhood organizations, and a partnership with Western Michigan School of Business. Building the broader local economy. One of my goals with the Cannabis Social Equity Chamber is to depict that the cannabis industry is not a siloed industry. It creates demands for caterers, accountants, construction trades, event venues, marketing firms, logistics providers. Our next phase intentionally connects local small businesses with the cannabis industry. And I am proud to report that in 2024 and 2025, all of our small businesses that we contracted with were minority and women-owned. So I am excited about our impact that we were able to have with those local small businesses. I would also like to address a common question, maybe some of y'all have. Isn't the cannabis industry declining? Why do we need to continue to support this work? The answer is, the opportunity has not disappeared, it has evolved. The early phase was license-driven growth. The current phase is workforce-driven sustainability. Today's opportunities are in compliance, operations, supply chain, and professional services. This is why this work remains essential. Impact by the numbers. Let's talk money. With an annual budget of approximately $300K, the Chambers helped stand up Michigan's, and I would actually argue America's first social equity implementation system. As our operations have matured, we have increased community-directed giving, reduced administrative and event costs, and shifted more funding directly into the community. What this looks like is that we've spent over $75,000 in securing scholarships for people to take KVCC certification courses. We've donated over $100,000 to local nonprofits and BIPOC-led community organizations. We've supported over $90,000 in local invoices for small businesses. Where we are going next, because we are not stopping here, there is so much more work to do. Our next phase focuses on long-term sustainability, expanding workforce credential programs, launching certification pathways, scaling neighborhood education initiatives, starting community education programs. We are moving from pilot programming to permanent workforce infrastructure. Kalamazoo's social equity policy was designed to ensure legalization created opportunity, not just revenue. Over the last 2 years, we have built the system to make that vision tangible, advancing strong youth, strong families, and good jobs. Thank you, and I welcome any questions or comments, or we can hold to after Bobby is done. I appreciate the time.
Thank you.
Rebecca. So just to end here, we just want to highlight where we're going for 2026 at the Economic Development Division as a whole. We have our overall PR campaign rollout. As I showed you, the PR and business attraction campaign. We have a rollout this year to cover all 4 corridors and really showcase that video showcase. So we'll be working. It's led by our Economic Development Corporation board, so they will be working with them to really move forward implementation for that. And we're excited to work with our local businesses and move forward that work. We also have the downtown brand face and PR and things of that nature. Our Big Belly activation and marketing. Where we're going to be moving on ambassador expansion on other duties within the city. That downtown, Michigan Downtown Association conference that will be coming here, really moving forward that work. We're also launching a KMEG 2.0 program where we will be expanding the 5,000 grants, but now we'll be giving 10,000 grants to historic recipients of that $5,000 to help move forward what they're already doing and help their businesses beyond just the $5,000. So we're excited for that new 2.0 program, and also to continue to move and work some of the lead certification programs through the Cannabis Chamber. So those are some of the things we're going to move forward in 2026, and I'm excited to share with you all at the next year and seeing where we have gone with implementation of that as well. With that being said, we're going to leave it open here for any questions from the commissioners, and I'm excited, and thank you for your time today.
Thank you very much. A lot to go through here in one session. Mr. Boyd, appreciate it.
Yes, just in closing, as hopefully new commissioners and our mayor, Commissioner Hess, Commissioner Prado, utilize and understand that these programs aren't being done anyplace in this country. One thing me and Commissioner Hess always talk about is Kalamazoo is always first to do something that no one else is doing anywhere in this country. These are programs and opportunities that this commission created, working with the Foundation for Excellence, working with the community. The campus component is the perfect example of something being done that is, like I said, not being done anywhere. We're the only one in the whole United States that's really focusing on initiative by the state of Michigan saying, give opportunities to individuals that were affected by this industry in the wrong way and give them opportunities to advance. Our program has done that. We were told when we was having COVID that we needed to do something to assist with working with our businesses. We worked with United Way to create this economic development opportunity, and this is the only one in the country with United Way that has this opportunity. And so we stepped up as staff and as the city mayor and commissioners and vice mayor to make a difference in this community. Our economic development strategy is to take this to the next level with these programs with United Way and also with the cannabis program, but more importantly, to really promote the city of Kalamazoo. I think it's way overdue that we as the city have not really pushed how great we are as a city, that we make a difference in ways that no one usually ever thinks of but us. But more importantly, we put money behind our ideals and we make a difference in this community. Our microloan program has made an impact of over $3 million in our SPK neighborhoods alone. That is significantly huge in affecting families in our community. I run into people all the time that have small businesses, home-based businesses, that have been affected by our programs and our assistance. We have worked with public services to make the streets better and safer. We've expanded opportunities with using quote-unquote systems that help communicate better in our community. And we are charged up as a staff, led by Bobby, to really make a better community than we've ever had in the past. So we thank you as the mayor and commissioners for all the things that you've been doing for us to assist us with approving funding. We're working through Foundation for Excellence to have the impact that we've been having, and we hopefully will get more support in the future from you to make even bigger and newer opportunities happen here in the city of Kalamazoo. So we're open to answering your questions. We have United Way here. We have our campus representative out of Detroit here that traveled over just especially for this meeting to answer questions. And between me and Bobby, we should be able to help you out with all your questions. If we can't, we'll get back to you, definitely.
Thank you very much, Director Mitchell. I appreciate that. Questions, commissioners? Commissioner Wilson.
Thank you, Director Mitchell and Bobby, for the presentation. Lots of information in there for us to digest. I had a question. I see we have lots of programming for small businesses that have already been established, no matter how small they are. Do we have any programming available for those, especially in our marginalized community, who might have an interest in becoming an entrepreneur but don't quite know how?
So I know one thing that we really utilize is our partners. We have a lot of entrepreneurship and startup business partners in the community, so we also don't want to duplicate efforts. So we really try to utilize and send them their way to really help them get started up and make sure they have things in place that can make sure they're sustainable long term. So we don't have anything through the city because we really don't want to duplicate or take jobs from other infrastructures here in the city, but we will do support, and we also do give funding to some of those organizations to be able to provide that help and help those startup businesses here in the city.
All right, thank you. That makes sense. And then on the social equity aspect, so we have lots of good paying jobs to get folks in, especially from our marginalized communities. But one of the things that we don't see in the cannabis community a lot is ownership, especially in our marginalized communities. Obviously, capital costs can be a barrier to that, but I'm wondering, are we doing anything to address that discrepancy and maybe get some more ownership in the marginalized communities?
Of course we are. I need more people that look like me in these conferences. Phase 2 is to do micro grants to individuals in the community who want to enter the entrepreneurship side of the cannabis industry. So it's already in our pathway.
Cool, thank you.
Thank you.
Other questions, commissioners? Commissioner Slaby.
Well, just want to say, great job, Bobby. I mean, over the last few years, just internally, there was a lot of musical chairs being played in terms of who was in leadership and who was in different roles, and roles were changing left and right every month to month. So it, to me, was very rough in terms of what staff was able to do and accomplish during that time. And I think since you've joined the team, we've really seen the ship turn in a really good direction. So I'm really excited to have someone from Kalamazoo lead economic development for Kalamazoo and be able to really take ownership of it. And I think we're seeing those efforts result in really good outcomes, and I'm excited to see for the future what we can do. I'm curious, and maybe I missed it if you verbally mentioned it, I just don't see it here in the presentation. We do EIF loans, right? And we gave a sizable loan to Traystar for Barrio that didn't last for more than 6 months. But we also gave them another EIF loan for some improvements downtown in their other building. We used to give out facade and white box improvement grants. I assume that this, you covering kind of the last 2 years doesn't really include that because we kind of ended that right before you started. But curious if want to hear more about EIF loans and how we're using them, what successes or lessons we've learned along the way. Are we exploring facade, bringing back the facade and white box improvement grant? Because I know that there was some issues with it, with implementation, but I know that businesses really appreciated the opportunity to use that to improve the building if it's a new use, right? Or just doing some key upgrades inside. And then lastly, maybe this falls more in community development, but we did this whole RX Kids that I know that that Kevin really helped spearhead, and he's on the economic development team, and so totally understand if that falls more under Sherilyn's community development, but was curious why that didn't really show up here either, because I think that does indeed support economic development, along with the child care support we are also providing. So just curious to hear more about those 3 things.
Well, Unfortunately, we're doing a whole lot of things. Since I started 6 months ago, I hit the ground running. So we're doing a lot of things here at Economic Development Division. We had limited time to present to you all, so sharing all that information just wouldn't be in the allotted time. So I would love to showcase everything that we're doing, all the great things that we're doing, but time permitted, I wouldn't be able to showcase all that. So ARCS Kids definitely falls in our purview. It's a great program. Kevin Forrest doing a great job with that. Unfortunately, it was something that started up before my tenure, so I don't know high level how it started and all those things, but definitely something that we're doing here. And I just, like I said, time permitted, I did not have the time to really showcase that or any other things that we have going on in the Economic Development Division as a whole. As for the EIF loans, we really streamlined and changed up that process. I had a small blurb on that, on how we had to reconfigure how that EIF loan went out and what that looked like, and streamline that process as a gap financing service. So it's not a loan that we give to businesses starting up, but we really utilize that as a last source in their capital stack to really help them get past the finish line, as in 10%, at a max of 10% or a max of $250,000 to get past that last finish line to really finalize that capital stack aspect. So, the impact of that is getting more businesses on a tax roll in our city by helping businesses start up, and like I said, getting past that barrier that a lot of businesses have had with not getting all the money they need, or even state or federal funding that we see being pulled back so many times now. Having another resource to really utilize and get that money that can move that business past the finish line. And you had one other question about
The facade and white box improvement grant.
We are working on creative ways to bring back that program as well. As things are going on across the country, and state funding, especially in economic development, being cut from MEDC to all levels, budgets have taken a substantial cut. So we did not have the budget to allocate to have that program right now, but we are working and being creative to bring back that type of program, especially once we see the need of that program as well. We have learned last time we had our challenges, but challenges are just opportunities to improve. So we will be bringing back that program sooner than later. We're sort of figuring out how to create a way to bring back a program of that at that magnitude, especially once we hear from the community and you commissioners and mayor that there is a need for that program to be in our community.
Thank you so much. Other questions, commissioners? Commissioner Prado?
Thank you, Mayor. Was just wondering, you mentioned, Bobby, you mentioned the Shop Local site, that there's that filter for construction to particularly help small businesses if they have construction issues. We saw a couple really strong examples of that with Park Street Market and businesses around there, I think it was last year, and then also, I guess, be over by Midtown Fresh in that area when we had some construction going on Westnedge. I think that would be a really great tool to help drive folks as well. But was wondering, especially with the significant construction projects happening on Kalamazoo Avenue, West Michigan Avenue, just your thoughts about what's going to be needed and how we can support small businesses, not just on those major corridors, but any major corridor where there's construction happening.
Yes, we're doing a lot of things. People that are familiar with this area saw the tremendous impact that happened on the Portage Road corridor by the airport to our businesses being devastated with a prolonged construction period. So with seeing that, we don't want to make that mistake here in our city of Kalamazoo. So we are being proactive with a lot of the marketing, getting the word out. Like I said, built that business retention expansion directory so we have great communication with these organizations, let them know when construction is going to start, where we're at in the process, when it's going to end. They try to get them ready for that. But like I said, the Show Up Local is just a tool in the toolbox that we think can really help those businesses as well, especially to deter individuals that just don't want to deal with that construction. Like, I'm not going to go downtown because that construction's happening, or they hate the parking, or whatever it may be. We have a thing that can combat those excuses on why not shop local. We also have data points that show that individuals, I think about 80% of individuals prefer to shop local, but there's other barriers. So this is a thing that kind of deters that barrier to still continue to shop local. A business can also not be as disappointed that individuals are not coming to their physical location because of construction problems, but still see the revenue or the sales that they need to continue to be sustainable in the area until that construction is done. So this is a tool that we also work with our external partner to continue to promote and market and help our businesses to overcome that challenge when it does come forward.
Thank you. And this might be a little bit more of a question for Rebecca as well. Really appreciated your presentation as well. I've noticed just anecdotally, I don't have this by numbers or whatnot, but it seems like news-wise, but also just visibly, some of the bigger names in cannabis have been closing their doors, consolidating. And I just wonder, how you see that as an opportunity to really lean in for our small businesses and maybe really take advantage of this moment since some of the big players are kind of stepping out.
Yeah, we do see it as an opportunity in the cannabis industry. For those who have not met me before, I'm also an operator in Michigan. I have a couple dispensaries and grows, so I intimately know the cannabis industry beyond being an advocate for it. And we do see it as a good point, and we do see it as an opportunity because a lot of the real estate is now available at a more reasonable market rate than back in 2020 when people just had all type of money to buy everything. So we do see it as an opportunity for smaller businesses to enter the industry, and especially some of the bigger facilities that are open and vacant now, we see an opportunity to do some co-location with some entrepreneurs. So I'm really excited about that opportunity.
Yeah, that's good to hear. Thank you. Appreciate that. And then just one last question as well. Bobby, you had mentioned that you noticed a trend in 2024 about an uptick of K-MEG grants, particularly in the north side that you showed the chart where there was a big shift there. I was wondering if you attribute that to anything that might have spurred that rapid increase that 1 year on the north side.
I'll let United Way answer that question.
Hi all. I'm Emily. I'm the Associate Director of Small Business and Community Impact at United Way. So what we've done is we've changed our protocol of how we engage with community. So we actually go into community and we work with different community partners such as the Douglas Community Association, the NACD, and we sit down and do technical hours and help folks apply in the community. So.
Thank you, Commissioner Pradel. Other questions at this time, Commissioners? Commissioner Hess.
Sure. Bobby, thank you for being here. Appreciate the information. As the liaison to Discover Kalamazoo from Commission, I work with them a lot, and you and I sat on a panel asking about the growth of Kalamazoo and Kalamazoo as a visitor destination. Your thoughts about that, about Kalamazoo being a visitor economy? We were talking about supporting local businesses, and it's not just local people that are supporting those local businesses, it's the visitors. And that's why we have to have this thriving, healthy, vibrant downtown area, regardless of where they're going in the town. Do you have anything to say about that in terms of how you're working with Discover Kalamazoo and the things that they're working with to really bring people to this area and increase our economic vibrancy?
Perfect. So yes, those are one of the first things that I did when we put together this PR and business attraction campaign, was talk to a lot of these partners in the community that are doing similar work, make sure that we have them on board, have their support to make sure that we're not duplicating efforts, but we're serving as an and, not an or. So we want to do support. As you know, Discover Kalamazoo does support Discover Kalamazoo County as a whole. So we want to be City of Kalamazoo specific, but we don't want to duplicate. So I sat down with them, did a presentation, talked with them about what they're doing to make sure we're not duplicating efforts and to make sure that we serve as an opportunity to expand upon some of the work they do, and also share information and from some of our sessions or things that we've heard around the community to things that maybe we can improve upon that maybe Discover Kalamazoo may not have heard as well. So we're continuously working in unison, working in partnership with all the economic development type organizations in the city, and we will continue to work on that moving forward to the City of Kalamazoo, because we want to work as a team and not as a silo, and we'll like I said, we've had this conversation first and foremost with everyone in the room, and we will continue to move forward this conversation and work in unison with all these organizations.
Thank you. One of the things that came out of that particular talk too was we're not, they don't feel that we're doing enough to highlight our waterways. Like the Kalamazoo River is Kalamazoo. And so I think things are going to be coming out in the next few months about opportunities for highlighting and cleaning and claiming the Kalamazoo riverbed. And that's really exciting to me. Another issue, and what did you say? Challenges and opportunity for growth. Is that what you said?
Yes.
Okay, so the challenge that we have right now in Kalamazoo is that our sheets of ice are going to be going away. And Discover Kalamazoo has been working with the CSL group to really, like, what do we need in Kalamazoo to support the recreation and competition that we currently have. And it seems that we need 3 sheets of ice as the Wings Event Center is going to be going away. So hopefully the city will be involved in that, but that's more of a county-wide thing, and that's more of a Discover Kalamazoo thing. But I'd like for us to be supportive, especially for all of the visitors that are going to be coming into Kalamazoo and enjoying our issues here, all of our downtown. So thank you for that.
No problem.
Thanks, Commissioner.
One other thing. So when is the Michigan Downtown Conference? When will they be visiting us? And please let us know that so we can put on our Sunday best.
Yeah, I don't have that exact date right in front of me right now, but I can definitely make sure I can follow up and get you that direct date when that's going. And we'll be at the Radisson. We do know that, so.
Yes, Commissioner Hoffman.
Thank you so much for being here, Bobby, and thank you for being here as well, Director Antonio. So I have a question. We talk a lot about development in the downtown in our city center. I live on the north side of Kalamazoo, and I can think off the top of my head about some thriving businesses. We have 5 liquor stores on the north side that I can just name off the top of my head within like a less than a mile radius. Those businesses are making bukus of money. What are we doing to collaborate? Because when you walk into these stores, you don't see people that look like me, and that money is not staying within the city. So what kind of mechanism are we putting in place that we can start having discussions and create policies that ensures that we, not only tax purposes, but that we are investing, because we're talking economic development. You're on the north side of Kalamazoo. We have people that look like me that are not being able to take advantage of some of those jobs and salaries and things like that. What are we doing? And then my second part to that is, what are we setting up as far as policy and ordinances around gas stations becoming a grocery store and then being able to apply for a liquor license from the state, circumventing the city?
That's you.
Yeah, that's a you question. He said that's me. All right. One thing we're doing is, hopefully everyone knows, we created a TIF district on the north side to really focus on business development and collaboration in the Pacific area. But we're also trying to work with a number of the faith-based organizations as well with their growth plans and development to assist with not only housing development, but also hopefully some economic development opportunities as well. We're also working with the Northside Association of Community Development to do more planning and communication on business development and housing development opportunities, and then also focusing on what you're bringing up, some of the zoning requirements of implementation. In the case of, like you said, the grocery store square footage component, one thing we did is our team changed the requirements for square footage. That was the loophole with let's say smaller stores becoming grocery stores. And that was an issue on one of our stores on the north side that you're talking about. So we made adjustments to that to require a bigger square footage of not only coverage of fresh foods and items like that, but also what is expected to have in a grocery store as well in that square footage, which is also bigger. So you couldn't create a corner area and get quote-unquote approval for the grocery store process. So that's the change we made pretty much last year.
Is there anything that we could potentially be thinking of moving into the future about making that more robust? Because I think there's also like a distance requirement, if I'm not mistaken.
Talking about the liquor stores in Pacific?
I am.
Yes. I'm gonna have to get back to you there, 'cause I don't want to say anything before I talk to the attorneys and say something that I can't take back. But we have looked at that process, pretty much following the state requirements from churches and parks and daycares and things like that. We have not tried to expand that component beyond what the state requires. But that's something we can talk to the attorney's office about, what flexibility we have to go beyond what the state requires.
Thank you so much, because I know, as it was stated before, Kalamazoo has always been one of those communities that are the first in many things within the county, and to rely on what the state has sometimes is not a benefit for our community members and residents. So I would like to see us dig a little deeper into that and to really put more guardrails around that, because money is being made for real,
Correct.
and we are not receiving some of the fruits of that.
Correct.
That income coming in. So
I
thank you.
understand. We'll work with the attorney's office.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Slaby.
I just want to follow up on that question that Commissioner Hoffman had. So we do, in fact, have a distance requirement that keeps from one liquor store getting set up right next to another liquor store. And we saw that on Riverview recently. 7-Eleven wanted to create a gas station, sell liquor, but it would violate the requirement that we already have in our zoning ordinance to allow it, because we have a liquor store on the same block, basically. So I guess the question really would be, do we have an opportunity to increase that distance requirement if that seems desirable by the majority of the commission? Is that possible based on state law? And the other piece is that whole loophole, like, why do they even do that in the first place? Want to be designated as a grocery store is to get around that distance requirement, so that if they get designated as a grocery store because they sell some old lettuce on their shelf, they're a grocery store, they're not a liquor store, so that the zoning allows for another liquor store to be open nearby. So that distance requirement isn't adhered to. So I think the real question is, if we have an issue with how many liquor stores are in existence within the current mile radius that's allowed, is the city able to, at a local level, increase that distance requirement?
We will follow with the attorney's office to clarify. But you are correct in everything you stated. We made some adjustments, but we may have to make some additional ones. If the community is saying new, quote-unquote, liquor stores being created in the same area, then we can work on making that adjustment. That was an issue that we definitely had a couple of years ago. We made adjustments last year. We didn't, to my knowledge, have that problem last year in 2025. But if something is flaring up that our residents or commissioners see, we just need to know about, so we can work with the attorney's office to make those adjustments.
Yeah, and Commissioner, if that's the desire of the commission for us to put that type of research in, to get that done, we can do that. So just let us know.
Thank you, Manager Hankins. Other questions at this time? Commissioner Pradel.
Forgot to ask this one as well. For the KMEG grants as well, I don't think this was a part of the same program, but I remember there was some work to invest in our home-based daycares, especially in the SPK neighborhoods. Just curious if there's any progress on that or updates on that at all.
Yes, we didn't get the feedback we thought we was going to get with that. The process that we found out, though, is working with individuals, because a lot of them were startups, with getting, you could say, their checklist together for the state of Michigan. So that's been the issue that we've been discussing more, working with a local nonprofit to assist with that process. So there was a lot of, you could say, startup growing pains that need to be dealt with. with a lot of these want-to-be home-based daycares. And the main key was making sure they fit the state requirements and checked all those boxes, but also making the property adjustments sometimes that you got to make to be that home care daycare as well. So we've been looking at how we can adjust our program once we deal with those barriers to assist individuals with hopefully some improvements to their property to make sure they meet the state requirements.
No, probably have followed this as well, but there's the movement at the county level about a possible millage for early child care, and it might be a great timing to align that with that, if that should happen to move forward and work out.
Yeah, that would be great, yes.
Thank you.
All right, well, thank you so much, Director Mitchell and Mr. Bobby Boyd and your whole team for the work that you're doing. Thanks for the report here. I'm sure that, I know we've got a closed session that we want to try to fit in before our business meeting at 7, so we'll move on to that. I know maybe you felt you had to rush through some of it a bit, so hopefully we'll be able to keep having this conversation and maybe focus on one area or another when we go on to get a little deeper in. But thank you so much. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you.
Thank you all.
Anything else, Manager Hankins, at this point?
No.
All right. So, Commissioners, we do have a closed session to discuss an attorney-client privileged communication. And Attorney Leal, we are not going to be coming back in session here after that closed session. So is that correct?
That is correct.
So we will be adjourning this meeting. And before we do that, we'll need a motion to go into closed session. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Motion made by Commissioner Pradel. Supported by Commissioner Hoffman. Do we need a roll call on this, Clerk Borley? Okay, please call the roll.
Commissioner Hoffman. Yes. Commissioner Pradel.
Yes.
Commissioner Slaby.
Yes.
Commissioner Wilson.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Duncan.
Yes.
Mayor Anderson.
Yes.
Commissioner Hess.
Yes.
Thank you, Commissioners. The motion passes. Just as a reminder, our business meeting starts in about 45 minutes here in these chambers, our regular evening business meeting. And so at this point, our Committee of the Whole meeting is adjourned.
Committee room. Community room, sorry.